Hey guys, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to another video. In this video, I just want to go over the year under Ross. What did it bring? We talked about what we wanted from Ross, and not just from Ross, okay? So I know some people are going to say, Jake, there's more to the footy club than just one coach. He didn't do everything. Obviously not. He had great assistants around him, and that goes with the territory. So when I talk Ross, I'm talking about Ross and what Ross brought and the people that worked with him. We wanted so much, and I did a video when we signed Ross as coach about 5 things that Ross Lyon can improve. And I went back and looked at that video, and it got me thinking, well, I think all of those things came to fruition. A year under Ross, did every box that you had in your mind get ticked, or was there a few things that are still left to improve for Ross? Because he's not a perfect coach. We know that. He knows that. He's been open about that. What stood out to you, and then what maybe in 2024 do you want to see Ross and co improve? Even individually, collectively, give me your thoughts in the comments. The first thing that jumps out to mind when I think a year under Ross, and coincides with our 150th anniversary, is that we got our St Kilda back. We got the band together, we got the vibe, we got the feeling, we got the belief. We got all of those things that go with it. That intangible feeling that when you're a Saints fan and you try to explain why you're a Saints fan to someone, you almost can't put into words. That feeling was back. Going to the footy, the colours, they just looked better this year. Just the song sounded, everything just was that 10-15% better, including our on-field performance. That was, probably more than 15% better. And off the back of that, that was hard work on the track and new standards that were set. And not just set. New standards can easily be set, but players need to buy in. They need to stick to that. They got excited by this. They welcomed this challenge. They welcomed a new set of eyes, tough set of eyes. Most, if not our whole playing group, bought in to what Ross Lyon and the rest of the coaching staff put on the table. And that is a beautiful thing, because when everyone buys in and everyone believes in something, it's just easier to execute. And on top of that, we got results early, and it built that belief even more. The players knew Ross is the guy, and the coaches, they're delivering, exactly his game plan, and we're delivering and getting results. So that whole cycle fuels each other. You work hard, you believe in the game plan, you execute the game plan, you get the results. Then you want to work hard again, believe in the game plan. It just keeps going and going and looping around until eventually you make finals. So I think that was a really big one for me. I think only to North Melbourne, in terms of overall games played, was St Kilda in second spot. And that's a team that made finals. I think we were the youngest team in the comp to make finals. Probably one of the most inexperienced teams overall. Filippo played every single game this season. Caminiti played like 16 games. Mitch Owens played like 19, 20 games. Nasawagan and Malira played 20 games or more. Did he miss a game? I can't remember. But you get my point. We had no right to really be doing that. I think previously, under Ratton, under other coaches, between last time we had Ross and now, is that we were in that limbo, that no man's land that everyone talks about, where we're not terrible enough to bottom out, but we're not good enough to be challenging. And at that point, you kind of hamstring yourself by not really playing the youth, because you think you're better than you are and you want to win games, so you play the experienced blokes ahead of the young blokes. Whereas now, I think we've got the perfect balance. We've got a lot of experienced heads, but we've also got a lot of young heads that play at that level. We're not just gifting games. We defied the odds constantly. Ross Lyon loves that, and I love that. I feel like, as a fan, it's the best when your team's constantly the underdog as a fan channel, because I love fighting for my club. I love standing up for my club. And Ross does that every single week in the press conference. He's always got one little snarky remark, very clever, under the cuff, and you got to be very quick to hear it. And he just summarizes exactly how Saints fans are feeling in that moment, because he's a Saints fan and he reflects that. And you listen to him and you're like, yes, he gets it. He's a Sainer. He gets it. He's not just a coach. He really loves this club. And we defied the odds every week. I looked at the odds, historical odds over the last 12 months, and no team has won more games pretty much from underdog status than St Kilda. And, that'd be the case over the last couple of years, to be honest. So very, very good form there. We drafted exceptionally well. Obviously not the draft Filippo, Ross wasn't really... Oh, Ross was part of that draft, sorry. He wasn't part of the trade period. But we drafted really well there with Filippo, obviously, and a bunch of other players that year. And then you got this one that just went, and we did exceptionally well with a very limited hand. So credit to not just Ross, but obviously the recruiting staff there and the job they've done. Press conferences, always good with Ross, always good. He loves a bit of attention. He loves speaking up. He loves backing his club, and he's very, very confident. And that leads into my next point. That adds that level of confidence that we haven't had in a long time. Hearing him just talk, you believe it. You believe it. And it's not that he's bullshitting. He is telling the truth. He is backing himself. And you're calm. You know, if we've got an injury and he comes out and does a press conference and he explains that we've got plans to accommodate that and to counter that, blah, 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 you're like, okay, I'm okay. But then other coaches come out, same situation, and they're panicking, they're making excuses, this and that. I didn't really hear Ross make excuses this year. He didn't excuse poor performances. He didn't excuse situations. He took them on the chin, he copped it, and then he came up with a plan, and we went from there and we grew from it. And every decision he makes is off the back of maybe something that's been done previously that didn't quite work. So he's always learning, and I really like that, you know, because that was the biggest hesitancy for a lot of Sainers when he came in was, you know, is he going to be just really, really stubborn? Is he going to just stick to his boring game plan and not change? And we've seen he's very, very adaptable. And the last point, which I think is a very fair one, and this goes for the entire organization. So this is every single person that works at St Kilda. Got everything out of everyone. Now, obviously, first and foremost, on field, he got everything out of every single player. And when you talk to opposition fans and they talk about Ross Lyon and his philosophy, they talk about Ross just gets good, you know, that the average player to play really good football. And that's, you know, basically what I'm trying to say here is that even the bottom tier players, the 10 to 15, you know, the bottom 5 to 10 players on the list, those to me are the most important players in a flag. You know, those sort of players can just have a big day. And because there's so much attention that goes into the guns that you need the bottom tier players to really stand up. And I feel like for the majority of the season, we saw that. And they weren't new players. Mason Wood, Ronnie Burns, you know, these sort of guys, they were exceptional for large portions. I know that some people are going to hate on me and say Ronnie Burns wasn't that good. There were games where he genuinely looked good. Watch Brisbane, I think in round 23 or round 24. He was immense. There were certain games, certain quarters in games where he just looked like a different beast, like a different player. And I was thinking, that's Ronnie Burns. How is Ross getting that out of him? You know, his field kicking was better. He was running harder than ever. He had added physicality, and by all reports, he's training the house down again. Mason Wood, all-Australian wingman for the first 10 weeks. Unreal. You know, he can bring in Zane Cordy and get the most out of him in the back line, in the forward line, wherever the hell he wants, chopping out in the ruck. So we got everything out of everyone, and then the club overall, I thought it was a fantastic season. It couldn't have been a better, obviously it could have been a better 150th. We win a flag, but apart from that, if you had told me, you know, given me a script and this is exactly how the year is going to go, that's the 150th anniversary, there you go, I would have said, damn, that's actually not bad. A lot of good moments in there. A lot of good moments. You know, there wasn't a week where people were questioning Ross or the coaches. We believed every single week. We believed we had the crop. We trusted the players to go out and perform on the field. It wasn't like, you know, the previous years. No disrespect to Rats or any other coaches, Waters or any of them, but he didn't know what St Kilda was going to turn up. So to be able to go to the football as a fan and have some trust, you know, in the performance, you know, we may not win, but we're going to put in a performance. We're going to give it our all. That was the best thing that Ross has brought in the last 12 months, is that you just knew that the boys were going to give it everything. And that's all we ask, isn't it? As Saints fans, we obviously win-loss is great, and you want to be on top and you want to be undefeated and win flags. But the next best thing is you just need to know that when you go to the football, when Jack Steele runs out, when Max King runs out, when these blokes run out, they're going to give it absolutely everything. And you know what? Our season ended on a sour note, the elimination final. But didn't they give it everything? You could tell they did. What a tough day that was. And you knew that they gave as much as they possibly could in the situation that they were in. We came back from 40 points down twice. Like, they didn't give up. And we played a very good team who probably should have made a grand final. So, under 12, a year under Ross, exciting. Really exciting, really proud year. And it's only the beginning. It's only the start of something. You know, Ross has alluded to that many times, but this is a process. Trust the process, and we'll get where we want to be. So on that note, Sainers, I'll leave it there. Hopefully enjoyed the video. Put it in the comments. A year under Ross. Give me one word to describe it. Give me your thoughts. Nearly on 9K, Sainers. I want to get to 10K before round 1 next year. Before March next year, 10K. Let's do it. If you know a Sainer, send them the link. Get them to subscribe. I give out prizes. There's all this content. It's a win-win for everyone. So I really appreciate it. I'm not sure if I'll do a video before Christmas. But if not, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a fantastic day with your friends and your family. And I'll see you very, very soon. But until then, take care, Sainers. And as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.